Hi everyone, it's T. I know you guys know I work at Guardian Ad Litem, and basically we advocate for children. And oftentimes parents are overlooked, and I feel like that's an issue because reunification is the primary goal. You have a 1 year goal to reunify with your parent and child. However, within that 1 year time frame, parents aren't very consistent when it comes to like their court recommendations and their court orders. They often like they'll relapse or they just won't show up, and I have a hard time like understanding that, especially if they're fighting to get their children back. And I often ask like the social workers or the supervisor and all that, like, why don't parents comply with the court recommendations and the court orders? And they're always like, um they just aren't mature enough to do it, or they aren't they don't have any responsibility, or like they aren't owning up to their responsibilities. And I just found that to be very broad and not very specific on what it is. And so I started thinking like maybe it's their transportation, maybe it's their lack of finances, like they have other type of stress that they have going on to where they aren't motivated to go, and that isn't really being said or like talked about and supported. And so I had this like 10-year plan to give clients the services they need but make it more efficient. Um, like some of the services they have are like drug screenings, they have STD testings, they have DNA tests, they have a lot of that. And instead of just really focusing on the clients like in foster care, of course that'll be a population that I work with, but I wanted to expand it to like every client, to where they can have all the coping mechanisms that they need and all the services that they need in one facility. So the facility would be called Live Young, because you always want to live young, you just want to live your life very happy and joyful. And so Live Young will be the name of the facility. And it would be a coping facility, slash, well, really it's going to be a facility for everything. So within the facility, there will be a gym, a spa, a counseling center, and just pretty much everything you're going to need in one location, so that any stressors that you have will be limited. So as far as transportation, I had this idea to basically have the company have their own Lyft or Uber drivers, Live Young drivers. And so they would have designated clients that they go pick up for their sessions or for any type of service that they might need, so that they have reliable and consistent transportation. Like there's no excuse for you not to show up if you have people that can bring you. And then as far as the finances, I wouldn't have it like to pay right up front. I would have it like to come out of tuition. So our services will be one large sum of money. You have a payment plan. You can pay it that way. You can also work there if you wanted to. I would want my clients who are lacking in finances to be able to get the services they need without having to stress about how they're going to pay for it. And of course, it'll have a deadline of when to pay, maybe like yearly. However, if they didn't make that payment, their services wouldn't be put on hold. They would just be limited. Um, and I wouldn't even say limited to the amount of services they need, but I guess the consistent ongoing basis that they actually need will be limited to the amount of time that they actually spend at the facility. Um, I'm looking at the effectiveness of this and how I would ask or see how people think about it. I would definitely have like a 2-part anonymous email survey. So the first part of the survey will be like once they leave and once they get home to their computers, they can ask, they can answer the question, the first question being, will they return to Live Young in order to receive their services? If they were to say no, they can respond to the email, or they can choose not to respond to the email. I know a lot of people find it awkward to kind of explain like why they didn't like something, so they would definitely have that option. But if they responded yes, I feel like they would, the next question would be, what about the services made you return? Like, what worked? How did you feel afterwards? It wouldn't be a series of questions, because I feel like, me personally, I hate surveys, or I hate really long surveys. Like, I understand people need feedback, but to have a lot of surveys is a lot when people can just say how they feel in like 2 or 3 sentences. So if they returned, we would obviously look at their surveys before they return, and just to see like what went right, so that we can continue to do those things. And they might have some feedback for us as well. And so that would be one thing. So inside of the facility, the first thing is a gym. So the gym will have everything, and have like a list right here. So all your basic machines like weights, treadmills, your stairs, stationary bikes. That'll be like the main thing for like the physical activities. Oh, the facilities is like physical, emotional, spiritual, everything. So literally everything will be in this facility. So back to the gym, it'll also have a pool for any type of therapy like that. There'll also be rooms for you to seek your own personal physical therapist and have that. And there'll also be a restaurant in there. I would put a restaurant in there so that people can work on their eating habits and their healthy needs. So another room that will be in the facility is a spa. So it'll have a sauna, it'll have massages, just other coping strategies. So like, I know for women, like shopping is a coping mechanism, but for the spa, you can get your nails done, you can do face masks, you can have pedicures, you can do all of that good stuff to help with any type of mental or emotional needs. We have wraps, aromatherapy. I also want to include like healing therapy, so like chakra healings. Those have to be aligned. The next thing that will be in there is the counseling center. Obviously, that's a really important thing for people that needs therapy. I would also have like different types of therapy. I want to include like music therapy, art therapy, pet therapy. Pet therapy is really good. What else? Theater, dance, any type of therapy that you need in the counseling center will be there. Also in the counseling center will be rooms for like DNA testing, the STD screenings, all of that good stuff. So that's basically inside the facility. I would definitely want to make sure I have every single type of coping mechanism in there. Any type of counseling, couples therapy, marriage therapy, substance abuse, anything like that. So to conclude, I feel like it'll get rid of all the stereotypes and assumptions, because people of any type of color, any type of gender need help. That's just anyone, and it'll be open and fair to all races. Anyone can grab the services, and I feel like it'll be a reliable method for effective outcomes. I feel like everything being in one location is just easy. You can get STD testing and then go straight to get your nails done. You can easily choose whether you want to come back or not, how effective it was, and I think it'll just be a good way for parents specifically to start getting supported in the ways that they need. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and yeah, this is my 10-year goal. Maybe 5 years. We shall see.